Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Duke Silver. Today we're going to be playing a Merlin. Merlin's hero power is every third spell you cast, you get to double the third spell. And yeah, this is my most winning hero. We start off pretty strong with a, well, not necessarily pretty strong. We start off with a Talking Frog anyways. If we hadn't taken that third free roll and used up all our mana and taken our actual free roll, we might have been able to cast a spell here and would have been pretty strong. But it's still enough for us to get a tie there. Somehow against all odds, but yeah, we find the targeted spell and we're gonna pick up a goose here with the second with our second character, and then we're gonna pick up a couple of apprentice familiars. I mean, I want to find as many apprentice owls as I can on Merlin usually. I mean, of course, if you're naturally doubling spells, so they're of course even better than usual. I usually I mean, if I can pick up a couple of apprentice owls before level 3, I'm usually trying to make them work anyways, just in any game really. Anyone that's been to my stream knows that I'm a little bit addicted to mages, and anyone that knows or that watch my streams for Storybook Brawl knows that is not something that's new to this game. We get to we considered the double pirate cook there for a moment on level 3.0, but instead we take a roll, find an acolyte, and we're kind of fully in mages here. We're going to cast this hero attack spell, and that's going to make our next spell doubled. So we're looking for something valuable to double here. And I mean, a double future vision is about the most valuable thing you can get. Plus 4 XP is just an absolutely absurd number of XP to get in one go here. We still manage a tie, even not improving our board at all that turn. And we get to go to level 5 here on 3.2. And we are very much usually at this point I would like look to kind of pivot out of mages, just because we don't have the opportunity to roll. But when the shop presents you with a crystal sage and another acolyte on as a 5.0 shop, I mean, you kind of have to take that as a sign and stay the course on mages here. We of course won't have access to as many spells this way because we aren't going to be able to roll, because of course we want to hit level 6 before we burn our rolls for future vision. So we're going to have to kind of make do with whatever we have in the shop. We are gonna burn one roll just because that shop is so bad though. There is a Watson here. Watson, a very powerful 5. If you can get a summon chain going in front of it, you can scale hero attack really well, especially when you get it this early. So I think we are going to take a Watson here. I would love to take this duelist as well. Unfortunately, the gold doesn't quite work out, and the shop isn't good enough for us to lock, so we just give it a shake and then say goodbye. Once again, we're honestly like pretty strong, having taken a turn off with our future vision, but we got pretty rewarded with a couple of our shops. We did have to burn one roll, and we did get rewarded for it. Speaking of being rewarded, there's a second Watson, which we are happily going to take here. Pair of 5s, especially one that's like pretty good, like Watson, is really nice to see on your future vision shops. We are going to float a couple gold here, but we do get to gain a little bit of HP. And I mean, of course, we want to be casting our spells every turn. We're not quite. We are starting to lag behind now. Our lack of options in our shops starting to show, and lack of spells being able to be cast. But we are on 6 now, so we can start to use our rolls. And we also get gifted a Hecate on our level 6.0 shop, which is of course fantastic. And there's a third Watson. We're gonna get to triple that up. We were gonna cut one of them just because the stats aren't very good, but and also we don't have the summons to really make it work, make it shine. But yeah, we get to triple it, so we get to play them both on board anyways. Level 5. These level 5 options are pretty interesting. Poison Tree gives us spell. Divine Messenger works kind of well with Watson if we want to lean into that. But I think we're just going to take the Holly's Gold. I mean, this is the best overall treasure. The Poison Apple every turn, I don't mind that too much, but I think that one spell per turn. I think we're a little bit beyond that one spell per turn, and the Holly's Gold, I think we want to use to kind of catch up and fill out our board with more things that we want here, especially given that we're on level 6 for at least we were for at least 2 more shops there anyways. We get to see our last level 6 shop as we lose our 4 XP and go down to 5.0. We of course we kind of want to roll for a more crystal sage. There's a Narrow. Narrow's pretty good even by itself, but I mean, I think we've kind of got a couple game plans going here. We picked up we get a morpholoted archdemon, so we're gonna try and get some summons in front of this Watson. Hopefully this acolyte doesn't die too early and get some summons there. We want them to attack into our Crystal Sage here if we can help it, or they can just immediately scam our archdemon and we don't have to worry about summons at all. We get beat by Dr. Frank's monster there. We're still pretty healthy though. At 23, we have taken at least one HP spell, but we've been pretty fortunate in these combats. And we get our Crystal Sage triple, and like I kind of consider taking the Philosopher's Stone for the Hecate here, but I think we're going to take the Hero Mask. There's a lot of value in changing heroes, and we get some good ones. Meta Mimic, Hercules, and Fisher King are all ones that I'm looking at. I think we're just going to take the Fisher King, take our random 6, and then we can get out of the Hero Mask immediately because the hero power is used up. So we just get a free level 6, we get a free Bottled Lightning here that we can use to make our Hecate nice and formidable here. Then we get a level 3 treasure for our Acolyte triple, and we're going to take a Jack's Magic Bean. We're at the stage in the game where we can hold out for a level 6 treasure, or even potentially this Narc upgrade to get a level 6, but we can potentially get a 7 if we can find a couple Hecate. If we can we have to get back to level 6 first, of course, but yeah, if we're pretty healthy, and if we find ourselves in a position to hold out for a level 7 treasure, I think we definitely do that. There's another Crystal Sage, but I think we just roll past it. I don't think we want to overload on Crystal Sages. Like, having a lot of attack is nice, but also it doesn't really help us too much. And since this Watson game plan isn't really panning out, we're gonna go for a new U onto it, and we get a golden or an upgraded Dr. Frank, which is actually kind of phenomenal on our board. We do have a fair amount of evil characters already. All but 2 of our characters are evil, so we're gonna get some amount of scam out of it. So that's a huge upgrade on the Watson. It's a little bit risky to new U in this game because so many of the units are so like specific and narrow that like, yeah, you can whiff on the new U's quite a bit and get something that doesn't work at all with your comp, which is I don't know, kind of a gripe that I have with this game. Like, I feel like the new U's and Chameleons of the world should be better. They should feel better, I think. I mean, maybe that's just because they felt so good in Storybook Brawl, but anyways, I digress. We're not going to take this book upgrade again. We're pretty healthy, so I think we can hold off. And we are gonna take this double Dying Breath rune though. That's gonna be really good for our Dr. Frank here, and the Archdemon as well to go with it, just to add some extra summons. So we're gonna get hopefully a full board of scam units, and we do. And we deal a bunch of golden damage to the Ares, knocking them out with gusto. Again, we're not taking the book upgrade. We're gonna hold off as long as possible. If we were lower HP, then we would probably just jam it. But yeah, we can afford to greed a little bit here. We're going to pick up a Fire Mage. That's going to go great in the Bottle Lightning slot, as well as we're going to be able to grow it pretty quickly with our Crystal Sage. There's another Hecate, so that's a level 6 pair, and also there's a Wolf, which we are happily going to take. We're going to move the Dying Breath rune off first, of course, and then we're going to put the Dying Breath rune onto the Wolf. So that Wolf is going to spawn two golden Dr. Franks now, which is a huge power spike for us. If the attacks go in a good order, then we should be able to refill our board, like maybe almost 2 full times. And generally, I think the way that the like as long as attacks go in like an ideal order, like I mean like the wolf, say the wolf attacks into something, and then it'll spawn the Dr. Frank in 5 or 6 and 7, and then the 7 one will attack first, and it'll go all the way around before the other Dr. Frank attacks. So the positioning actually works out really well with the Dr. Frank in the corner here, or with the wolf in the corner spawning too. Again, we could take a level 6 treasure, but like there's not a ton of level 6s that we really care about, especially with the setup that we have here. I think we're just gonna hold off. Again, we keep winning combats, so we're down to top 3, but I mean we can afford to greed even just a little bit more. We got one level 6 pair anyways, and we've got a couple other level 6s that we could pair up and potentially hit a triple four. We are spending some gold on spells though, so that is relevant. And there is a There is a Hecate triple, which we're going to be able to get just under the wire. There was a spell reflector in that treasure selection, but we didn't really have time, so I just jammed the, I just grabbed the Aladdin's lamp. Again, we're just continuing the trend of greed here, and yeah, we come up against Zimberg. Shout out to Zimberg, who's hangs out in the streams, in my streams pretty regularly, and has assembled a very cool looking symbol of unity board. What do you call it? Angelic commanders feeding the woman in the moon is just so many stats, and also I mean putting those stats onto the BLT, which gets those guaranteed slays, is a really cool setup. This is like the ideal symbol of unity board, I would say. And we get pretty unfortunate hits with our Dr. Frank hits and summons and whatnot, but yeah, again, that's a very cool board. I do think we were probably favored, I want to say, overall in that fight. But yeah, with the right slays, then clearly that symbol of unity can really do some work. And apparently that with all those summons and slay triggers, the combat took a little bit long there, and we ended up with not much of a timer, so we had to roll down as fast as possible to try and find something relevant. Yeah, against the fluff board here. This is also a pretty strong fluff board. Both opponents doing kind of slay-ish things, slay-adjacent things, and once again we lose. Just like there's just too many stats on those fluffs, and once again our scam out of Dr. Frank isn't exactly phenomenal. But yeah, now we get our Aladdin's lamp popped. We are down to 9 HP. I think we're going to take the Wish for Strength, which for the future we just don't have time for, and Zeus's Lightning just doesn't really do enough, I don't think. It just doesn't offer us enough stats with our setup here. If our units like on the front row were making use of stats a lot better, then maybe that's the pick. But because we're kind of just doing a lot of summons here, I think the Wish for Strength giving us a giant aura buff here is going to be better. Now we just need to find another 6 triple and get a magic scarf to double that. We're gonna lock another wolf here, of course, and we do have our next spell is active to be doubled, so we're gonna be able to double wolf here. We could potentially double wolf another unit, but I think what we're gonna do is just bury this. We're just gonna bury this this Frankenstein even deeper. Of course, moving the Dying Breath rune off, so we can just spawn a bunch of wolves that have more wolves in them, and then each have a Dr. Frank at the very bottom. And that's I mean that's just going to give us a bunch more bodies to really make use of this aura buff from our level 8 treasure. There was a duelist there. We could have absolutely taken that duelist as well, but decided against it. We're just gonna cast a poison apple here. We are against the fluff board. It looks like the Zimberg's symbol of unity board has gone down to the fluffs. Fluffs just overwhelm a little bit, and yeah, they got a ton of stats, and they're gaining a ton of stats with every single slay here. Their Guinevere Divine Messenger purple puff setup is really doing some work here. We only take out 3 things before they get to our wolf, but we do get relatively decent hits here, and yeah, the amount of time delayed from those wolf summons really helps us make the most out of all our summons, and even though we don't get the best hits, the best scams out of our Dr. Franks at all, we still just manage to keep up stat wise with all our bodies, and just a little bit of scam as sort of some added flavor. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed that. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I would very, very much appreciate that. Yeah, apologies for my absence recently. I just dealing with some issues, and yeah, hopefully we're back to consistent uploads. And again, just apologies for the inconvenience if you were missing the videos. And yeah. Anyways, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I guess I will see you tomorrow.